Yeah, Almo 100 here. Yesterday was the All Smiles Day Out event. So All Smiles Sound System, which is this, is a music collective of me and my friend Praj. And literally the ethos of it is just happy music. That's it. I just started with the idea of happy music, and it went from there. And we leaned towards sort of dark disco, New York house, Chicago house. On the day vibes, it's more disco, good feels, and that's essentially what I'm known for. But it's not like the usual commercial pop house or happy house kind of situation. But yeah, All Smiles Day Out was just our way of saying we're not only a nightclub, we're not only a night promoter event, we also want to be doing day things. And we got together a few vendors, a few artists, a bunch of musicians, music acts together. And we set up the space with games and fun and just like had some kind of like little, essentially like a family day out. That's where the idea came from. So let's get the All Smiles family day out. And it was awesome to see all the friends there, the usual people I know, some new faces as well. Yeah, it was killer. We had all these like traditional games, little traditional Arabic elements, Emirati elements to it, some gahwa, some dates. So it was like somewhere between a party, a majlis gathering, and a chill out with friends, essentially. Moha. Shout out to Sheb Moha. So he runs Shabab. I've known him for a few years now, and when I found out he had the Shabab laboratory up, just hit him up. I'm like, dude, we want to host something cool. And he's like, immediately from the get-go, barely even heard what we wanted to do. He's just like, let's do it. And bless him, he's such a chill guy, such a guy that loves to make people do things. He likes to break institutionalized spaces, and he likes to break what's happening so that he can like force creativity to go through, because that's what creativity needs, essentially. Someone to be very just quick on their feet as well. Yeah. I think it's what I love in music style, and there's a whole area of sort of this happy music that's sort of been skipped out on, which is essentially like New York house is losing its spotlight. It's not really around in Dubai. I was just playing people got to know my music style, and it tends to be on the happier scale of things. It could be groovy acid, it goes as far as that. And I talked to Cyril Rahadi, and I'm like, dude, I want to start something. And I want it to be somewhere around my type of sound. He's like, go for it, man. Like, there's a gap in the market right now for what you play in terms of parties, and what in terms of terms of music curation. And he's like, you should go for it. We used to have gallery back in the day. I don't know if you're here during that time. It was pre-COVID to COVID. One of the first parties run by Hani J, Diamond Setter, and Paulo. Yeah, or Paul. So they had it was somewhere between disco, acid, electro, all that kind of vibes. And that was a huge inspiration for me back in the day, when I was first getting back into Dubai music scene, getting to know the music here, what was going on. And I loved going to that party. And that was essentially like what pulled me in to say, okay, there's a desire for the music I kind of like. There's a desire for this all-rounded, genre-bending sets that go from, like I said, New York house, acid, groove. Everything's got this deep groove to it. There's always like a deep bass going on, dub disco kind of stuff. So that's sort of the lines where I try to mess around on, and that's where I feel like there was a kind of a niche and a gap in the market. And you go to commercial venues, yeah, sometimes you get disco house all night, but usually like you get tech house going on and deep house, and it's all these dark, grungy stuff that's like, it makes you feel sort of intoxicated and wavy, and everyone's just got sunglasses on, looking down, like grooving, and there's no smiles. And that's how we came to the All Smiles name, essentially. Just to put it out of the way, first of all, we did 2 parties at Gaba. We did one at Shabab. So Gaba was more, it's a new place. They're looking for parties. The guy who owns it, Artemi, he heard me play once at Gaba. I got drafted for a little gig there, and he's just like, we need them in. We need him in for something. And I was telling him on the day that we want to run a party, we're looking for spaces, and he heard the sound and he's just like, yeah. And when you get an owner of a space believing in your music and really wanting to bring that to his own space, you get a lot of backing. So that was how we found Gaba. With Shabab and with Sheb Moha, his space, it was there, it was ready. He was willing to take anyone in. It had a 6 sound system, Declan's Tone Farm. Yeah. We played on it at Secta. We destroyed it, man, on Secta. Like, me and Moha, we went crazy. They connected it to the booth, and we went all the way up. We're like, screw this. But thank God, Declan, like, he's smart about it. He levels everything, and he knows that DJs are just like gonna redline. Anyways. For me, when it comes to picking venues, I never like to play, it's more of a personal thing, but something I like to put through the party. I don't like to play separated from the crowd. Like, you know, when you're on a pedestal or you're on a big stage, you feel a bit disconnected from what's going on in the crowd, and like it feels a bit alienating to me. I've done it a few times, but I prefer to be almost at eye level with the crowd, close to them. So that's one factor. I love small spaces. When a space is small, you get like, 100 people, 150 people. It'll already feel full. And that 150 people are going to be people who want to be with your music. It's not randoms who are just like sneaking in and wanting to like just have a vibe for the night. So you get that, is that one, it's the size of the space. One, it's the DJ eye level and being connected to the crowd. Whether people can also walk behind the DJ, that's another situation. And yeah, that's basically it for me. I try not to do stuff which is, we haven't found venues which are too big yet. We're looking into some other venues, but whenever Praj brings up something and I know like it's a very big space, I always double take, because I'm like, dude, like you're gonna have to really fill out the space. It's gonna be tough to do that. The smaller the space, the more vibing everyone is together, you know? There's more grunginess to it. Even if it gets sweaty, it gets wet, there's still a sense of enjoyment behind that, because people feel it's busy. When you get a space that's too big, too aired out, it sort of takes away from the experience of the night. So we've talked about Honeycomb a lot.
I think it will be the best venue for you.
I know Khalil, I know Varun, I know the guys who run it, bless them, and they believe in local acts. And what I love what they do is that they fill out 80% local acts, 20% for international bookings, and very tasteful bookings. Not any big name. Actually, they're very good at that selecting. So I think we can fit in very well in that space. Honestly, we're on the lookout. If you have anywhere to go, there was room 3 in 25 hour, but that's, like I said, that's a very big space, and I felt a bit off with that. Maybe Monkey Bar, but room 3's got more of that grunginess to it. That has that weird interplay. If you play like this type of happy music, this type of like dark, deep disco, in a more grungy space, it feels more like that. And that's what New York Underground was. It was all these like warehouses and underground venues that...
Music box also, all these warehouses.
Yeah. Yeah, they're just like very brutalist spaces, but playing these like very groovy gospel sometimes sounds. I want to stay away, I'll say, from Marina. To be complete, I want to not really stay away from Gaba, but I'd prefer not to play in Marina in general. It's the wrong type of vibe, wrong type of crowd, and traffic. Blue Waters as well is not. I'm more Business Bay, Dubai kind of. Maybe I don't want to steal like Moist Paper Party's identity, but even these dingy Dubai bars would be a sick spot to go for. My family was from the Bestakia area, and it's still there. Like my uncle's house is still there, the old town. So yeah, I'm more tapping into. You're inspiring me right now. More tapping into my connection there would be wonderful. We set the mark that minimum it's every 45 days. Every month is too much, because the moment you finish a party, even before you finish, you're already thinking about the next party. It's already taking up mental space. I do have a daytime job. I do have my own DJing that I have to do. I do have other projects, so I need to give myself space between gigs, and we're testing it out right now. Like it's very much in prototype. We're seeing, is it too close? Is it too far? Are things moving too fast for us? Me and Praj both have daytime jobs, so this is something we both have to deal with. So we said 45 days at first. Whether that pushes longer, whether we're more flexible about it, that's completely fine with us. I can't name what we have lined up just yet, but there's something happening in the end of Jan. Announcements coming soon, so stay tuned for that. We might squeeze one more thing in before Ramadan comes in, but we're not thinking it's too soon after that end of Jan one to put one in. And honestly, we're not too fussy about it. We want to have fun at the same time, and if it becomes too much of a stress load over both our careers, then what's the point if we're not feeling comfortable? Yeah, we think about all of these. Yeah. We always think about Jack plus use date, everything. Like we all know people from the scene. We know you. We know Cyril. We know Animesh, Alyssa, and Julian. Like we make sure to know we're not overlapping with other parties as much as we can, but we can't force ourselves not to do something. Like with this party yesterday, it was at the same time as Animan happening in Hepta. With our previous party, it was the one day before Seek, even though we thought Seek was later on. You got to think about who is your crowd. And if you know your crowd is going to be with you, and then it's okay. You can do some overlap. And I was surprised, like in the summer, there was almost like a lack of parties that I knew about. Like if someone asked me, oh, what are the parties happening? Or like what's active right now? There was a lack of parties going on. And then the season hit, October, September, and suddenly there's so many new parties coming out. Everyone decided this year, okay, it's time to come back and make parties. So we'll see. We're competing with with a lot of people, which is tough. Oh my God, that was one of my favorite parties. So what happened? Alyssa hits me up and she's like, yeah, do you want to play the chill stage at Secta? And I was surprised. I'm like, me? You know my music? She's like, I was like, do you know what? She knows what I play. She's been to my parties, so she's heard me play. And I was like, me? I'm like, yeah, hell yeah, let's go. I was like, I already know what I want to play. Eventually, she sent me the music brief. It was a Spotify playlist of like what they want. I'm like, okay, I get what's going on. It's like secta vibes, but down tempo, but chill. It's got this sort of futuristic feel. We can come in with a bit of groove. We can give the crowd a little bit of a break. Anywhere between like ambient techno, dub techno, even world grooves, depending what you sort of put in. What was wonderful for me in that set was that I literally went into my portion of my collection, which is over here, down here, which I don't, it's down there, I almost forgot about it, which I've never played live.
Oh.
I've never even thought I would play live because I thought this was me music. This stuff is for me. I bought this for me. And it's all my grungy electronic stuff, the left field stuff, Actress, Burial, it's got allsmiles, it's got Forte, he's not more, he's sort of left fieldy sound. A little bit like electro in there, like stuff the darker stuff that...
IDM, kind of IDM.
Yeah, IDM, somewhere between IDM and left field house. And I was so excited, I'm like, yes, let's go. And I could really feel the crowd were into it and it was fun and I was into it. I'm getting goosebumps right now, man, if you can, from thinking back to it. I love it when a party or someone comes to me and they're like, Almo, come, play your thing, but here's a challenge.
Yeah.
It's not going to be your thing specifically, but it's going to be something adjacent. I'll give you another example, if you don't mind, of another party that I did. Is that okay?
Moist?
No. Moist was fun as well, but this was more Vinyl Souk Festival. So that was another challenge as well, which was awesome because Zenim from By Jello, she came to me and she's like, Almo, do you want to play something different? And it's not the music different, it's more the format of playing. She said, okay, how about we try, you bring a whole big stack, as much as you can. And then what we want to do is, it'll be an interplay between the crowd and yourself. So you can prompt the crowd to come up, select some records, and then you play your favorite song or the most appropriate song from that record. And what was wonderful is that it was moving between like classical music and contemporary and jazz and rap and ambient and IDM. And it was going up and down and left and right. And it was a challenge for me because I'd have to take this record. Well, I'm playing ambient right now and suddenly someone's brought up Kendrick Lamar. How am I going to bring this like super chilled out ambient and bring in Kendrick Lamar? But it worked. It worked beautifully. And these are like the type of challenges I like to do, and it proves that DJing does have a creative outlet to it.
Yeah.
But what a lot of people don't see is that, or what a lot of people, quote unquote, DJs do is that they don't mess with their creative outlet or their creative selection or their curation. They're just more mechanical. Okay, I got deep house set. All right, let's start 100, go all the way to 120. You're going top to bottom. Moist Paper Party, they're always the best. Cyril and Kirill. They've defined and made something completely new for Dubai, and they're just inspiring everyone. And they've got such a unique identity to them. What's awesome is that their music and their vibe is cross-generational, which is so tough to do here in Dubai, especially as a promoter. And when you're a promoter of a certain generation, you find it tough to make something appealing for another generation. And so with like Moist, they're tapping into Gen Z, maybe even Gen Alpha. I don't know if they're in the legal age yet, but Gen Z, Millennials, Gen X, they're appealing to everyone. And I love their long format set, like 5 hours for me. I love a 5-hour set. If someone tells me you're doing less than 2 hours, I'll try not do it. I'm not gonna do a 1 hour and a half set unless it's like good money or or I support the promoter there. Thinking back, so Moist is my favorite, and that's one I'll usually go to all the time. Moist Paper Party. Basmati, love the guy Animesh. Earwax doing something cool. He's Funky Chapati, Amar. So they're doing a global grooves, all wax, no digital kind of parties. Somewhere between global groove, R&B, hip hop, and they got like a cool sound going on. Both of them massive collections, huge music nerds. They even sneak in like world psychedelic, Central Asian psychedelic. Like I was just talking to Amar yesterday, and he's giving me like music like Uyghur disco. Imagine that. Central Asian Uyghur, like Tajik disco. I'll send it to you after. It's wild. So you never expect to find that kind of stuff. You got Bodywork, who were out here for a little while, and they went back to New York. Yeah, those are the sounds that were close to me. And Gallery, ones that's not really around anymore, but they were one that kicked off my, like, Gallery was where I met a lot of the Dubai scene. It's also where I got to know who was in the underground music scene. Also, of course, with Flipside. And then obviously you got Boogie Box, Hassan Alwan, yeah, he's legend of the scene, godfather. Love him to bits, and he's always doing great things. Yeah. Oh, I think it was like 2018. It's not too long ago. Almost 10 years, I guess. I already started vinyl collecting before that. I've been a collector for about 10 years, but I never thought about getting into DJing. I just never crossed my mind. I did a little bit when I was a kid, just like middle school parties. And went into it a little bit, left, but I had a lot of friends who were like, dude, you got great music. Like, they were just like, man, you got a great music taste. You got awesome shit going. You should think about buying yourself some decks. And I ended up buying decks, and I got more into it. But I can really tell you the turning point for me, 2018 was when I got the decks. But it wasn't until I left and went to Australia for my master's is when I really got into DJing per se. And it was my decision when I was going to Australia. Okay, either I'm gonna take my PlayStation or Xbox or whatever. I'm gonna take the PlayStation or the DJ controller. Either one is gonna decide how I spend my time in Australia. And I decided to go with the DJ controller. And what was awesome there is that when you have the DJ controller, you have the speaker, you have the vibes over there, and you're going to student parties, it's so easy to get in there, plug and play. You're in a random party. All right, let's DJ, let's go. Slowly moved up to bars in Australia, and then I had to come back at some point. And that's when I got in touch with the scene here, got to know Shadi from Flipside. He gave me my first opportunity there. Yeah, I didn't know what I wanted to play for the first few years. I was really discovering my sound a lot. I mean, when I was first DJing, it was a lot of house, a lot of 4/4 to make it easy for me to mix. But as I went on, I was like slowly going through global grooves, worldwide music, bit of jazz, bit of disco there, and that's still sometimes part of my identity and comes in. Bit of world new wave, J-pop, city pop, and that's a lot of what I play still. And slowly now it's gone more into the allsmiles sort of music, and that's what I play when I go to Honeycomb. That's what I play there, but more on the chill side, or if I'm playing a party, it's more on the aggressive side of aggressive happy music. That's essentially almost what it is. One guy who got me into music, Shahriyar, he's a good friend from back in the day. Still in touch with him every now and then, but it was his push. He'd be like pushing music to me. And he'd be pushing. He's the one who got me into Radiohead. He's the one who got me deep into Radiohead, not just like the general creep, whatever, but like deep into the Radiohead discography. Tom York, he got me into James Blake, got me into looking at R&S records. This is my formative years of music, like when I was 16. And it was early James Blake, not the new stuff. He's the one that got me into Sun Kil Moon, very indie, very sort of depressive music as well. Got me into post-rock, got me into post-punk. And he just had this whole wide understanding and interest in music, so wide that every time I'd send him something, he'd be like, yeah, I know this. And I'm like, dude, this is so deep into somewhere that how do you know this? But where specifically my music interest began, and I can tell you exactly which song it was Dance Yourself Clean by LCD Soundsystem. Yeah. LCD Soundsystem, Dance Yourself Clean by LCD Soundsystem. So that's James Murphy. And what was beautiful about LCD Soundsystem and their whole music catalog is that, yeah, their genre was mainly like indie-tronica, dance punk kind of things, but these two genres stem from so many different types of inspiration. And it's that classic New York kind of space where since you're hearing so many different types of sounds, and they came out of New York, so since you're hearing so many different type of things, you're getting inspired by all these things, and it's producing music that's touching on so many different genres. So you're going through the album, you're in rock, then you're suddenly in like sort of like some groovy disco, then you're in dance punk, then you're in indie-tronica, then you're just in like Radiohead kind of vibe. And it's because they touched on so many things, it sparked an interest for so many different types of sounds. Why Almo? That's a funny name. I'm glad.
What's your real name?
Almo~~~d.
Okay.
Almo~~~d.
It's easy.
Yeah. So I go with Almo. That's what I go with since I was a kid. Since no one could say Almo~~~d properly, and it was too long. But Almo~~~d. So the funny story, the story behind it is I was doing my Euro trip through in like 2018. Yeah, 2018. I was doing my Euro trip through, and I was in Hungary at that time. And I was chilling in a hostel room with getting to know my roommates over there, and I've been chilling with one guy for quite some time. And what I like to do as like an icebreaker during that Euro trip was like, I like to show people my name. I'm like, and it's a very long name. Almo~~~d Farid Mohammed Ahmed Kapital Al-Bastaki. It's massive. Some certificates, they were like, no, we can't fit your whole name. So I like to like do that trick, like try read my name. And it was like a nice icebreaker to like show a bit of culture, let people my name, get people laughing. And this one friend that met me before, Ray Fan, shout out to him. I met him earlier in the night, still one of my best friends right now. And he already figured out how to say my name. And he's just like letting everyone try it out. And he's just like, you know how you say 100, like 100, like how some people say like 100? So it's like Almo~~~d, Almo~~~d. So then I was like, yo, that's a sick name, Almo~~~d. And it sounds sort of similar. If you said Almo~~d, it sounds kind of similar to Almo~~d. And I decided to make it Arabic numerals.
Because back to your roots.
Tap into my culture. And sometimes it causes a bit of issues, like people don't get it, but I try to be as pushy as I can with it. It's my DJ name after all. The venues love the idea of someone playing records, and it looks classy. Gives it that touch of luxury and gives it that touch of like, whoa, Like this guy's actually touching the music, especially when I play like a Honeycomb. People are surprised that I'm like, they come up and they're like, oh my God, he's playing records, or they're trying to, I see them trying to explain to their friends like how he's mixing in. So it's completely new, it's unique. In terms of where I play, I play a bit consistently at Honeycomb, is what is a home base. Obviously the allsmiles party, wherever I'm called in, to be honest, and I like to push for my vinyl format more than my CDJ format these days, because I just feel for the music a bit more that way. I prefer vinyl because like I'm always on my feet while I'm playing. I feel more, for some reason, and I've always been saying this, like with limitations, you can be more creative.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, so it's like, so with that limitations of having, okay, I know all these vinyls, I know these have certain tracks on them, but you're not always playing the same tracks on each vinyl with each party. You're changing tracks sometimes. You're like, oh, I've played this one too many times. I want to play this other one this time. Let's see how it hits. Sometimes I'm playing something off a track off of a record that I've never played before, and it hits.
And also, you can play this track by 33 or by 45.
I do that sometimes as well.
Sounds.
I did that for a radio mix recently. I'm like, I'm just going to slow everything down. And whatever was 45, I put 33. Or even my record players, they have a plus minus 16.
Okay.
Most just have the plus minus 8. So you can slow really the way down. And it was kind of an experimental set. But yeah, Honeycomb, I used to play Nightjar a lot. Gaba a few times, the allsmiles parties, and like I said, just wherever I'm called. We have secta, we have a few parties coming up.
But it's not too much.
Yes and no, but also I'm fine with that because I do have a day job. I do have my own thing going. DJing is not my only source of income, so thankfully for that, for me. So I treat it more as like it's a hobby that pays, which is awesome. Like everything I make from DJing goes back into music.
It can be 2-3 times in a month, yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's what, and I prefer keeping it at that level. If I go too much, then I get tired, I get exhausted. I end up not being able to see my wife sometimes because I'm DJing into the night and she's home. So see, I don't treat it as a specific goal. I'm more in it for the artistic practice of like being able to express myself through the music creation. But I'm open to the idea of, I know this is a diplomatic answer, or a bureaucratic answer, but I'm open to the idea that if my career were to kick off in some way or another, I'm happy to try it out. I'm happy to give it a go, like see where it goes. But the thing is, I see how DJ careers are like. You're playing it, and then you finish something at 6 a.m., you're immediately in a bus or a car, and you have to go to the next place. The only places you're able to sleep are either in transport, the plane, and you get very cooked. I don't know about that type of lifestyle for me. I like my comfort. I don't sleep too well anyways. But yeah, I've never deeply thought about it. I feel like if the opportunity were to come up, I'd be like, yeah, let's go. I'm not forcing my way there, essentially. And I think tends to be with a creative practice that if your goal is to reach something rather than the creative practice, then your intentions are not in line with your creativity. Like that seems a bit counterintuitive to your creativity. I work for Dubai Future Foundation.
Oh man.
Yeah, so I work at the little design research lab over there, and it's part government work. It's completely different from what I actually do, but it's still also like a creative job. So we design sort of initiatives and projects for the government. We do research. If someone wants us to look into something, we do it. And we're essentially like an innovation lab for hire. That's a vague way to put it. I don't want to explain exactly what we do. I'll be in a completely different identity though. You won't recognize me.
Okay.
It's full Kandora. It's funny because like when I see people from the music community or friends from the wild and I'm dressed in full Kandora, they're like, they don't see it's me. Or if I see people, if I'm dressed like this and I see people from the office, they don't recognize me either. There's a cultural disconnect as well, like, and is it whether it's accepted at work or not? What's blessing for me is that I work in a very creative space and they're very open for us to do what we like. Your hobby's your hobby as long as it doesn't infringe on your work. There is that slight layer of like, they let me do what I want, but there is that little layer of like disapproval. Or like, whenever there's this word in Arabic, and it's like it's a word that's picked up from English, and it's like bidayij. When you say bidayij, means this guy's DJing, and whenever I bring that, I say it, or when my colleagues say it, there's this sort of tone of like it feels wrong to say that word, and it feels like haram to say that word. It's weird. But I'm still happy that they at least accept me to do it. I'm fine with doing it. As long as I don't really let the worlds collide. Or if I'm DJing, I will not push my Emirati identity onto it, because there is that level of respect that you have to give. There is that level of, okay, it's not super culturally appropriate. Yeah, you get these moments where people ask for certain things. Like me as an Emirati DJ, they ask if I can do a certain action or dress a certain way. And if it's infringing on my beliefs or my principles, I'll try not to do it. Like one time, there was a gig that they wanted me to dress up in a kandora. I was like, no. That's weird.
Of course.
That's very weird. There's another gig where someone asked me to do this, which is the hand sign for Sheikh Mohammed. I'm like, they wanted to take a photo of me. I'm like, no, I'm not going to cross those worlds. As long as I keep them separate, as you said, it's two lives. For underground scene, I do not know any other Emirati DJ. I know, actually no, there is Mariam Askari from, she's an Emirati DJ, but she doesn't specifically have a party, but she does do weird sounds, and she is a vinyl DJ as well. On the cultural note, like that's what we felt with the All Smiles Day Out, like to add gahwa, to add the dates, to add the carom board, and we wanted to get even more Arabic stuff without making it seem distasteful and culturally appropriating, and it did not in the end. It was like such a good interplay of, we had the carom board in the center of the space, people sitting down, they're like this high playing with it, and then there was like weird visuals behind them, which was awesome. It was a nice interplay of like culture, like almost neo-Emirati mixed in with like a bit of rave culture. And I guess like, yeah, there's certain ways where it can be appropriate and tasteful, but there's ways which are just like completely almost infringing on the cultural norms, which we're not, to some extent, like the UAE culture or Dubai culture, it's not really ready for. It's slowly getting there. You have people like me, you have people like Mariam, you have the Emiratis going to these parties as well, living these double lives, but still trying to like separate that night identity with the day identity. I have people supporting me, I have people looking for gigs for me, and for the longest time I was scared of calling myself Emirati DJ. I didn't put it in my bio. Whenever I submitted for gigs, I was like, I don't want my Emirati identity to be the reason I get DJ gigs. I want it to be my music, but at some point I felt the scene was becoming a bit more open to the idea of an Emirati DJ. And to be honest, you have to think about how to sell yourself and how to PR yourself sometimes. And I finally made that jump. Let's put it into my bio. But it took me a long time to get to that point. And whether it's getting me gigs or not, we'll see. I'm not sure. I have people helping me out in the background. Yeah, we also have like people in the Emirati scene supporting our movement, supporting us as allsmiles. We have Shock Foam, who are a creative duo, both Emirati. Bless them. And they're doing stuff that's very sick. And you get these sort of neo-Emirati crazy people out there, like, and so tasteful. But what's awesome about this is like also on that touch of like, they know how to put that delicate interplay of Emirati and modern and contemporary. And they know how to mix it in a very tasteful way. When you get like a foreigner trying to do that, they can only give you what they see from the internet, not what's an experienced.
It can be cringe.
Yeah, not what's a life experience, so to say. It's like incorporating a life experience with a modern experience is much more powerful. And so you have these people out there doing that. The Emirati creatives pushing more into the scene, whether they're getting and now they're starting to get sort of the backing. Yeah, in terms of that's Mariam Askari is the only one. You have DJ who? DJ Bliss? I didn't want to bring him up, but
we know
he's okay. Here's the thing. In fairness, he's a commercial DJ, and he has a commercial DJ agency. They're doing successful, and they're doing well for the scene. Whether they're doing well for themselves, sorry, and they're playing into the luxury house movement. Dubai Bling movement, essentially. So they're doing well for themselves. Not our identity, though. So I like to rollerblade. I like to inline rollerblade or aggressive rollerblade. It's like it's almost close. I always describe it as close to skateboarding, but you have rollerblades on your wheels instead. And you do like acrobatics, you twist, you turn. I'm trying to tap more into, get back into climbing as well, bouldering. I really love bouldering. But yeah, I try to keep it as active as possible. I mean, I don't know if this counts as a hobby, but literally my favorite thing to do ever, and I have to do this many times a month, is I love going to the beach and just swimming underwater. I just love that feeling of swimming underwater. I'll go deep. I'll stay underwater for like almost a minute or so, half a minute, and just feel that sense of disconnect from the world, and that like it's a part sense of flying and disconnection. Like everything drones out. You don't hear anything anymore. And it's little pockets of meditation that I get when I go. Yeah. It's going places. It's moving up. It's starting to take form. We're starting to see more people have the guts to do these type of things and go out, and it's going to take some time for venues to catch on to this, and for venues to like really respect the underground style of music and understand that, okay, sometimes you're not going to get like a completely filled out space just because you brought a promoter, but at least you have this identity of a good music playing there. It's definitely grown from when I was last year, and you have more parties. You go what happens with Dubai is that there's certain waves. You get a lot of parties coming up. They have to like liquidate, or it gets too saturated, and there's some of them have to stop. Then you go to a low season, and you get these like creative waves, and it's slowly increasing and increasing. Obviously, we're not as big as a city as like London or Tokyo or New York, where you can have many parties at the same time, and all of them do very well. Over here, you'll have many parties at the same time, and then what happens? Not all of them do well, for most of the time. One will do great, or all of them will be too saturated that no one's everywhere at the same time, and we're still a small city. So as the city grows, there's going to be more desire for different types of music scenes, different types of music tastes. And I think it's my biggest like recommendation to any promoter, and also to myself, is just be patient. Just keep going with your sound, believe in your sound. If it's not working out in one format, try and shift a little bit. Prototype. Treat every little event, every little thing you do as a prototype. And that's something I get from my day job. Like we think about things as prototypes. Because if you're too stuck to a certain type of way of doing things, and you're not going to stay fresh, you're not going to resonate. There's a lot of parties that back in the day that stuck to one format, and it's because the promoters, the people who ran it were like, they believed in that format. It did well for them for a while, but then slowly after some time, new generation came in and didn't work out. So yeah, and this is something we have to play with also with allsmiles, and this is why we're trying not to be just a promoter night, but more of a musically influenced event that just plays here and there, goes around, brings the vibe, brings the smiles, essentially. Let's say Christopher Nolan, he's the one who did Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna say Cyril Raadi, yeah. Cyril. Floating Points.
Oh man.
He's my biggest inspiration. That's why.
Do you remember his 5-hour set in Boiler Room?
Yeah, crazy. I'll tell you one thing about DJs. The ones that look like nerds are the best ones.
Yeah.
Ben UFO, Fortet, Daphne, Caribou, Floating Points. These guys are the music nerds, and they understand music. So that's, for me, if this DJ looks like a nerd, he's a good DJ. ملوخية.
Oh, it's Cyril's favorite dish.
Let's go. It's so soulful. Drink. There's this sort of citrusy drink called Cidrata. It's from Italy. It's from this company called Tassoni. You only find it in Italy.
It's like coffee or soda?
No, it's like a soda that's a lemon kind of flavor. They had it here for a little while, but then it's not here anymore. Bougie selection. Oh, I've visited quite a few right now, but I'm craving, I think at the top of my list right now is Hong Kong.
Maybe do you ever thinking about to live in another country?
For me, it would be, I'd love to live somewhere else for long term, but temporarily. My roots are Dubai. I love Dubai. I know the scene here. I'd love to go back to Australia for a little while, but I think I've come to the point where Dubai is my city. It's nice to be around family. It's nice to be around the culture I know. And for the longest time, sorry, this is meant to be a short question, but it's a long one.
Normal, yeah.
For the longest time, yeah, I did feel like I wanted to leave, but now I do want to stay more. 3 records I'd take to a desert island. This one's right here.
Okay.
You know what? Okay, let me pull it out. I know where they are. No, not this one. This red one. Michael Seifu. And then... No, screw that. I love. So this one, it's because it's cheating, but it's a 3-hour record of LCD's their first goodbye concert, and it's a recording of the whole concert.
Wow.
But I wouldn't pick it because I have more of an attachment to. I'm gonna do it. 2 LCD records.
Oh man, okay.
Uh,
now we know your favorite artist.
Yeah. So you got LCD Sound System, This Is Happening. And we got LCD Sound System, Sound of Silver. I'm telling you, like I said, it's genre bending music. That's why I'd go with these 2. I've answered this very quickly. I'm a bit. And then this one's my top one. Well, not my top one, but this one is Zilalim by Michael Seifu. It's a crazy Ethiopian left field electronica. And what he's done is that he's mixed like traditional Ethiopian instruments, stuff that like dates back to Babylonian times, and like mixed it in with electronics.
Oh, I will check it.
It sounds wild.
Today.
Yeah. To get people grooving, I love it. I love it more than anything. And it's not a professional goal. It's more like when I'm at a place, and even if it's a dinner place or a bar, and I see people like slowly nodding their head to the music, that's a huge plus for me. That's a huge goal. That's a huge, like, yeah, I'm doing something right. For me, that's what DJing is about. It's the goal for me is to be able to play my type of music and have the crowd resonate with what I'm doing. I'd love to play more, obviously, moist paper party style stuff. More of these, like, maybe a festival. But I'd love more of those, more than anything, the grungy, dark kind of. I'm at the same eye level with the crowd, and the place is bumping. Like, what happened with my moist paper party gig, it was funny. The place was bumping so much that my records were skipping.
Yeah. I remember, yeah.
And people kept on bumping into the table, and I'd have to do this to tell them to stop, and a lot of times they thought I was dancing with them.
Yeah.
So I was just trying to tell them, look, yo, calm down, but
It's a traditional situations for all vinyl DJs, of course. But it's a challenge. Everybody said it's a challenge.
Yeah.
You never know what will be when you play vinyls.
Yeah, I just want to also like just play as much as my recollection as possible, whatever, even if it's post rock at some point. Like I never tend to play my post rock. I do I have that type of music. Just to showcase people, like, yeah, this is Almo's style, but this is also his stuff.